The United Nations took up the refugee issue and adopted Resolution 194 on December 11, 1948. This resolution calls for the repatriation, resettlement, and economic and social rehabilitation of refugees and the payment of compensation. The UN recognized that Israel couldn't possibly repatriate a hostile population that might endanger its security. The solution to the problem, like all previous refugee problems, would require at least some of the Palestinians to be resettled in other Arab lands. Now, at the time, the Israelis didn't expect the refugees to be a major issue. They thought the Arab states would resettle the majority and that some compromise over the remainder would be reached in the context of a broader peace settlement. But the Arabs were no more willing to compromise in 1949 than they had been in 1947. In fact, they unanimously rejected the resolution by the UN. The UN discussions on refugees had actually begun in the summer of 1948 before Israel had completed its military victory, and the Arabs had thought that they would still drive the Jews into the sea, and therefore all of the Palestinian refugees would come back and not only return to their own homes, but take over the homes of the Jews as well. So it was only after the Arabs were defeated that they suddenly embraced the UN resolution. But it's inconceivable, as the Arab League secretary himself said, that the refugees should be sent back to their homes while they're occupied by the Jews, as the latter would hold them hostages and maltreat them, he said. The very proposal, he said, was an evasion of responsibility by those responsible. It would serve as a first step toward Arab recognition of the state of Israel and partition. So the Arab states never wanted to have the Palestinian Arabs return as long as the state of Israel existed. And the Arabs rejected the resolution that they now champion because they believed that ultimately they would destroy Israel and the Palestinians would be able to return to their homes. They've subsequently reinterpreted the resolution to say that it says the Palestinians have the right to return to their homes, and they're unwilling to accept anything less. The fact of the matter is, that's not what the resolution says. It says that they must be repatriated as well as resettled, and that the expectation always was that the bulk of the Palestinian refugees would be resettled in Arab lands, and that only those willing to live at peace, a key component of it, would be allowed to return to their homes in Israel.